Hello students of class 7. Now welcome back to my e-learning classes once again. So we will be continuing with the story 3 questions from your English textbook. Let us read part 2. So what happened before that? The king had 3 questions and he was seeking the answers to these 3 questions. So he had asked different people, different wise men from all over his kingdom. They came, but they were not able to answer the questions properly. The king was dissatisfied. So finally the king went with these 3 questions with him. What are those 3 questions? The right time, the important person, the important word. So in order to get the answer to these 3 questions, the king finally arrives to the hermit. So when he meets the hermit was doing a certain work. He was digging something and the hermit was not answering him. He provided his helping hand to the hermit. He took the spade. He was working for the hermit. He worked for many hours and finally he was a little bit frustrated and he finally asked the hermit that why are you not answering? Do you know the answer or not? You tell me. If you don't know the answer, I will not waste my time here. I will go away. I will return back. So then at that moment the hermit, instead of answering him, he said, here's someone coming. Someone running and coming towards us. Look at him. The king turned round and saw a bearded man running towards them. His hands were pressed against his stomach, from which blood was flowing. When he reached the king, he fainted and fell to the ground. So one man, a wounded man, was running towards them. And the wounded man was having a wound in his stomach and it was bleeding heavily. So when he reached them, he fainted. He collapsed. He fainted and fell on the ground. The king and the hermit removed the man's clothing and found a large wound in his stomach. The king washed and covered it with his handkerchief, but the blood would not stop flowing. The king redressed the wound until at last the bleeding stopped. So immediately the king and the hermit, they just attained the man and removing the dresses, they discovered the wound is actually over the stomach and it was bleeding heavily. So the king tried to press the blood so that he will not get too much blood loss. So the king tried with his handkerchief, he pressed hard over his stomach so that he could stop the blood flow. The king kept on redressing the wound until at last he stopped bleeding. The man felt better and asked for something to drink. So the man was recovering a little bit and he was feeling a little bit better. He wanted some water. He wanted something to drink because he was very thirsty. All his energy went out in this big wound and running, and God knows what happened to him. The king brought fresh water and gave it to him. By this time the sun had set and the air was cool. The king, with the hermit's help, carried the wounded man into the hut and laid him on the bed. The man closed his eyes and lay quiet. So it was already sunset. It was getting dark. So they took the man inside. Okay, the air was becoming cool, and both of them, means the hermit and the king, they both carried the man inside the hut, laid him on the bed, and there the man was taking rest. The king tried by his work and the work he had done. The king, tired by his work and the work he had done, lay down on the floor and slept throughout the night. The king was also heavily tired because he had been working very hard with the spade, digging the ground. So he was so tired that he also lay on the ground. He also laid on the ground and he fell asleep. And the night was over. When he woke, it was several minutes before he could remember where he was or who the strange bearded man lying on the bed was. So when the king finally woke up next morning, he took some time to remember actually what happened yesterday. Yesterday I came to this hermit in search of those 3 questions, and then this wounded man came and we brought him in the home. Then he remembered everything. Okay, and the man said, "Forgive me," said the bearded man in a weak voice when he saw that the king was awake. So the man was just laying beside the king on the bed, and when the man saw that the king has finally awakened, he asked for forgiveness suddenly. "I do not know you and have nothing to forgive you for," said the king. "You are completely a stranger to me. I don't even know who you are, and you are asking me forgiveness? For what reason? I don't understand that." "You do not know me, but I know you. I am that enemy of yours who swore revenge on you because you put my brother to death and seized my property." So now the man is telling, actually you don't know me, but I know you and I am your enemy. I was your enemy. So he was the enemy who actually promised to himself that I will take revenge. Why revenge? Because the king, because of certain things, because of certain reason or situation, the king had punished his brother on something, and the punishment was actually killing punishment. So the king has actually killed his brother, and not only that, the entire property was taken by the king. So this actually angered this man, and he wanted to take revenge on the king. "I knew you had gone alone to see that hermit, and I made my mind to kill you on your way home." So this man, this enemy, he actually got the information that today the king will be going into the forest all alone. Not all alone, maybe with his few guards, few soldiers. So the king will be less powerful in the jungle, so he will have a very good opportunity to attack on the king. So he planned that when he is going to meet the hermit, he will wait for the king, and when the king is going to return back to the palace, on that time he will attack the king and he will kill the king. That was his plan. But the day passed and he did not return, but he kept on waiting. Okay, the entire day was over, but the king was not returning back. "So I left my hiding place and I came upon your bodyguard, who recognized me and wounded me." So he was a little bit out of patience, and he just came out from his hiding place, and he thought to see why the king is not coming, what happened. And the bodyguard, the few bodyguards the king had brought with him, the bodyguard recognized that you are the enemy of the king, you are the danger for the king. So the bodyguard attacked that person, and the wound was given by those bodyguards only. "I escaped from him, but I should have died if you had not dressed my wound." So from that place he managed to run away somehow, but even after running away, he would not have been able to survive if the king had not helped him to stop his blood flow, to mend his wound. Okay, if the king had not done this, then he would have ultimately died. "I wish to kill you and you have saved my life." So what happened? I actually planned, I had made all the preparation to kill you, but what you did, you saved my life. "Now if I live, I will serve you as your most faithful servant and will order my sons to do the same. Forgive me." So you have saved my life, I am all yours now. So here the man is giving a new promise to the king that hereafter, as because you have saved my life, you own my life, I will serve you throughout my life. Not only me, even after me, my sons, means my generation, my upcoming generation, they will be also your servants. So please forgive me. The king was very happy to have made peace with his enemy so easily and to have won him over as a friend. He not only forgave him, but said he would send his servants and his own doctor to look after him. And he promised to give back the man his property. The king was very happy that so easily, it was very easy for him to convert an enemy who was planning to kill him, a dangerous enemy like him. He converted such an enemy into a friend. Okay, so the king was happy, and the king forgave him. Whatever his revenge motive was, the king totally forgave him. And he said that as because you are not well, you are injured right now, you need to get recovered very soon. So in order to help him, the king said, "I will send my servants, I will send my doctor to help you get recovered." And not only that, the king also promised that After you recover, you will get back all the properties that I have taken from your brother. You will get back all those properties. Leaving the wounded man, the king went out of the hut and looked around for the hermit. Now the matter with this person was over. So now the king suddenly remembers that I need to talk to the hermit, because the question thing was there, the 3 questions. He has not even got the answers yet. Before going away, he wished once more to get answers to his questions. So he just wanted to make one more try. He wanted to ask for the last time to the hermit that if he could tell the answers. The hermit was on his knees sowing seeds in the beds that had been dug the day before. So now the beds were all ready for the seeds. So he was just sitting down and he was putting the seeds inside. The king went up to the hermit and said, "For the last time, I beg you to answer my questions, wise man." So he went and said, "For the last time, I'm asking you, I'm like begging you, please answer my question." "You have already been answered," said the hermit, still bending down to the ground and looking up at the king as he stood before him. So the hermit said that, "I have already given your answer, you have already got your answer." Very casually he said, and he was working with his seeds. "How have I been answered? What do you mean? Means how? I didn't get any answers. How you are telling that I have got all the answers? Means what is your meaning?" "Don't you see?" replied the hermit. "If you had not pitied my weakness yesterday and had not dug these beds for me, you would have gone away. Then that man would have attacked you and you would have wished you had stayed with me." So the hermit is telling that, remember about yesterday. If you had not pitied, you felt sympathy for me that I'm working so hard, being an old man, I'm working so hard. You felt sympathy and you offered to help me. And if you hadn't done that, then you would have gone from this place long time before. Then that man would have attacked you and you would have wished that you had stayed with me. So if you had left this place so soon, so early, and you will be going back to your horse, and there this enemy, he will be waiting to put an attack on you and you might have got killed. At that time, you might have wished that I would have stayed inside the near the hermit for some more time. You would have wished that. So the most important time was when you were digging the beds. So now he is giving the answer. So the important time for you was when you decided to help me and you were digging the beds. And I was the most important man, and to do me good was the most important business. So you are getting the answer. So that time digging the bed was important, helping me was the most important work, and at that time I was the most important person for your life at that moment. Afterwards, when the man ran to us, then another thing happened. The man came to us. The most important time was when you were caring for him. So that was the important time for you to care for that man, because if you had not dressed his wound, he would have died without having made peace with you. So you did another right thing on that right time. What was that? You helped him to get recovered from his wounds. If you had not done that, then the man would have died. And if the man had died, what thing you would have lost? You would have lost a good friendship. So he was the most important man. So at that time, at that particular time when you were helping the man, he was the most important man in your life. And what you did for him was the most important business, and helping that man, helping that man to recover from his injuries, that was the important work for you at that moment. Remember then, there is only one time that is important, and that time is now. So he is giving a precise answer to the first question, what is the right time for any action? The right time for any action should be now, the present time. Remember then, there is only one time that is important, and that time is now. It is the most important time because it is the only time we have any power to act. So why present is important? Because this present time, this now, this present time is in our hand. What happened few hours before is not in my hand anymore. It was in my hand when I was in that past time. Okay, what happened few hours before, that is gone. That won't come back to me. So that time is not in our hand. It has gone away from our hand. I can't do anything about it. What time is coming ahead means the future. In the future also, we don't have any power because we don't know the future. The time that we are having the power, the time is now. If we are able to do anything, we can do it now. So this present time is the most important time. The most necessary person is the person you are with at a particular moment. So at that present time, at that particular moment, the person you are with, that person is your very important person. You can be with your teacher, you can be with your parents, you can be with your brother, sister, you can be with anyone. You just can be with a complete stranger also, sitting next to you in a public bus. Okay, anyone. But whoever is with you at a particular point of time, that person should be very important to you. So the most necessary person is the person you are with at a particular moment. For no one knows what will happen in the future and whether we will meet anyone else, because in future we don't know what is there in the next few minutes. We can't predict. Okay, so the person who is beside me, who is in front of me, who is around me at that moment is important. The most important business is to do that person good. So we have got the second answer. The answer to the second question, who should be the most important person? The most important person will be that person or that people who are with us at that particular moment. Okay. Now coming to the third question. The most important business, the most important work. What is the most important work? The most important work is to do that person good. Don't do any harm, just do good, help. Okay, do something good for that person, because we were sent into the world, into this world for that purpose alone. God created us. God created us for what reason? For only one reason. God created us to live and help others to live. So how to help others to live? By helping them in every way, by being good to them. So we have finally, the king had finally got the answer to these three questions, and once he is able to get the answer to these three questions, he will become very successful. So what are the three questions? Once again, right time. Right time is the present time. Important person. Important person is the person who is with me at the moment. Important word. What is the important word? Important word is to always do good. Now let us relate this thing to our present scenario. What is the right time? This present time is our right time. Who are the persons very important to you? You are living in your home, you are being in home, so your entire family, they are important to you. And what is the right work for you to do now? The right work for you is to do good. How you are able to do good? By staying at home. Don't go outside, so that you won't be affected with the virus. If you are not affected with the virus, your family will be safe, because they are the important people right now in your life. Okay, so that's all for the class today. Regarding the question answers, we will be continuing with the question answer like a discussion session in our next class. Okay.